Hey, what is up, mortals? It is WASDemons here, with a new video for you. Welcome to part 3 of Season 1 of What If Deku Had Daredevil's Powers. Just wanted to greet you guys by saying, sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. So, let's begin.
Oh, come on, this is boring. I know a lawyer who moves better than you, and guess what? He's blind too,
Knuckle Duster said, showing clear signs of boredom. He threw another heavy punch Midoriya's way, just as the boy got to his feet. Midoriya barely managed to get his guard up in time. His bones shook with the force of the punch. His already bruised forearms didn't offer much resistance to the blow, sending him back on his butt. Well, maybe I should ask him for a few pointers then, Midoriya managed to utter in between groans, gripping his purple forearms.
Ha! If you get into trouble as much as I do, you will soon enough, his teacher added, pacing around as he waited for Midoriya to get to his feet. Look, this shouldn't be too hard. You keep trying to shut out everything and just focus on one attack. You try to shut out the noise, the smells, and even the pain you're feeling. I don't have a degree in sensology, but I think you should embrace everything. Use it. All that information at once to predict 2 steps ahead. Stop living in the moment. It'll pass just as quickly as it came, Knuckle Duster lectured.
Okay, I think I get what you're saying. I've been trying to do that for a long while, but I just can't, Midoriya replied with uncertainty in his voice.
Well, a few knocks on your noggin ought to set you straight. People always bring out their latent abilities in times of peril.
The bulky man charged the boy, his large footsteps echoing all around the room as he drew near with blows planned. You can do this, Midoriya psyched himself, breathing hard. He tried to focus on literally everything. Any more blows to his forearms and it was broken bones for him. Not much help considering he had to eat dinner tonight. He timed the pace, the steps getting louder with each second. The smell of his teacher's sweat getting stronger as well. The breeze tore sharply around Knuckle Duster's fist. A right hook. He'd seen all of those fighting movies to know the swerve. His freckles almost got swiped off his face. Midoriya bent his head down while he swerved to the left in one sharp movement. His skull thrummed with Knuckle Duster's fist grazing his temple ever so slightly. Midoriya heard bones tighten, the left fist of his teacher clenched tighter. A follow-up blow, the boy thought to himself.
Woohoo!
Knuckle Duster yelled into his student's face. It sounded 1,000 times worse in Izuku's head, rattling his brain more than the punch did. His teacher took the pleasure of taking a second blow, one strong and perfectly placed uppercut to his jaw. It sent Midoriya to the floor like a tossed sack.
That didn't hit as hard as I thought. You blocked that, didn't you?
Knuckle Duster said, looking from his fist to his student. Midoriya grinned a bit. He was sure his jaw had taken a fracture, but his hand had gotten in between his chin and the blow, softening the impact ever so slightly. Not as great as he imagined, but he felt his reaction time improve a tad bit with just one word of advice from Knuckle Duster.
Fair enough. I think we'll put the pleasantries on hold for today. Don't want you going home with bent arms, Knuckle Duster teased.
I'm pretty sure you've cracked them in so many places, Midoriya retorted, getting to his feet. He hoped it'd be the last time today he would be on the ground.
Yeah, I got some ointment and bandages behind those barrels. Get yourself wrapped up, his teacher said.
So, what did you conclude from the test? Midoriya questioned while he wrapped his sore arms in ragged bandages.
Well, you're just a stage above complete trash. I guess that's just because of those senses you rely on so much. Take that away, and yeah, you're terrible. Couldn't even land a blow, bones aren't strong enough.
Okay, yeah, I got it. I'm bad, but that's why I'm here. Midoriya cut his teacher off. He didn't need a mental beatdown, too.
It'll be tough work, I tell you, but I've trained worse goody two-shoes than you. We'll work on your fighting, sharpening your senses, reflexes, and toning your body every day till the exams, Knuckle Duster said, lighting a stick and blowing smoke clouds into the air. Now, you see those big barrels? Carry those across the room to the other end. When you're done, carry them back.
Midoriya looked on in disbelief. Those things weigh like a ton, and you've already injured my arms. I don't think I can carry...
Whining? Sounds like you're trying to question my methods. Looks like you want to go home, boy, his teacher interjected.
I'll do it, Midoriya said in an exhausted manner.
Better get to it then,
Knuckle Duster said as he took another drag of his blunt. There had to be at least 15 of them. He tried to shake one of them. It felt heavy with some sort of liquid. He wasn't interested in finding out what. Midoriya tried lifting one off the ground. He couldn't. Green Eye scanned the room, looking for something that could help him. Knuckle Duster didn't say he couldn't use other means, and his teacher appeared so stoned he probably wouldn't care. His eyes spotted some iron chains. Midoriya could only wonder what they were used for, but the chains would serve him well in dragging the barrels across the room. He locked the chains tightly around the first barrel. He gripped the ends of the fetters and pulled long and hard. The ground creaked after quite a while of pulling, and the barrel crawled forward ever so slightly. Tensing and straining just about every fiber in his body, Izuku managed to get the barrel to the other side of the room after about 5 long minutes. By almost an hour, he'd gotten everything to the other side of the room. I just have to get them back, he wheezed before passing out. Hot smoke choked him awake. Izuku coughed violently, sitting up. To his right, Knuckle Duster crouched over him, sporting a new cigarette stick between his lips. You have to stop doing that, Midoriya said in between coughs.
Oh, you're alive. Thought that tidbit killed you. Looks like you're tougher than you look, his teacher acknowledged. Sadly, you weren't tough enough. You were knocked out of your senses for a while. Now I can't get to the interesting parts of a session. Better get home before you miss dinner,
Knuckle Duster added, heading back to his makeshift bed. Shoot, how long have I been out? Midoriya cursed to himself. He scrambled to his feet, wincing from his sore muscles. He hurried out of the warehouse. The breeze was frequent. It felt cool and humid. The sun's warmth weakened, but it wasn't gone altogether. Evening. He estimated 4 or 5. His mom would be back by 5:30. Midoriya had to be quick. He tried to remember each corner they took to get here, every distinctive smell and noise. Somehow, Midoriya found himself lost. I'll never make it in time, he exclaimed to himself, turning like a lost puppy on the sidewalk, trying to decipher anything that could be of help. A distinctive set of footsteps caught his ears. Mom! He thought to himself. Midoriya had hid behind a pillar that held up a cafe right beside him. His mom walked by. Down the road she went, and her son followed suit, trailing behind his mom. He tried to put all his focus just on her, shutting out every other thing. It was hard, but he knew if he got distracted for even a second, he would lose her. Familiar scents and noises soon came as they got closer to the house. Izuku did his best to blend in with pedestrians to avoid being caught, though he was sure he wouldn't. His mom wasn't one to look over her shoulder often. 7 minutes later, his mom came out to the steps of their apartment. Their flat was at least some floors up, but Midoriya had to be quick. He raced to the side of the building where his window outlooked the city and started his ascent. His sore arms made his climb harder. His mom was already walking down the hallway towards their door, rustling through her bag to probably get the keys. He pushed air from his lungs hard, mustering strength to pull himself up to his sill and pry his window open. Inka was already in the house calling for Izuku. She walked up to his door and pushed it open. Before we get further on the video, I'd like to introduce you all to the sponsor of our video, Honey. Honey is a free browser add-on available on Google, Opera, Firefox, and Safari. If it's a browser, it has Honey. Honey automatically saves you money when you check out on sites like Amazon, Papa John's, Kohl's, wherever you shop. It's a good chance that Honey can save you money. All you have to do when you're checking out these major sites is click that little orange button, and it will scan the entire internet and find discount codes for you. It takes 2 clicks to install Honey. Now, anytime you check out Honey, it will scan the internet and find coupons, codes for you. If there's a coupon code, they will find it. And if there's not a coupon code, you can rest assured that you're getting the best price possible. And there literally is not one available on the internet. If you install Honey right now, you can save $50 to $100 on your shopping doing nothing. There's literally no reason not to install Honey. It takes 2 clicks. 10 million people use it, 100,000 in 5-star reviews. Unless you hate money, you should install Honey. Inko found her son without his clothes on. Mom! Izuku yelled, which caused her to shut the door abruptly, without even taking into account the bandages on his bed. Sorry, honey. I didn't know you were, inappropriate. I'm going to get dinner ready. Just wanted to know how you were doing, his mom said before leaving. Midoriya let out a quick sigh of relief. He was lucky she hadn't noticed his bruising and bandages. What was the vigilante even thinking? His mom would have taken her consent away in the event she had even given it if he came home this bruised. He stepped in the shower to get cleaned up and bandaged properly. Afterwards, he got his dinner. His bruised arms were concealed under a long-sleeved shirt. His mom asked a lot of questions about his day, and so did he. He wanted to know how she was faring with her new job. From what he observed, she made it out to be amazing, but he could sense the exhaustion in her tone, and the guilt hit him. She was tiring herself because of him. Izuku countered that thought in his head with hopes of actually getting into UA once he was done with Knuckle Duster. Then she wouldn't have to work so hard. Izuku passed out the moment his body hit the bed. The exhaustion hit him hard, and he slept like a log. For the next couple of weeks, he did hard physical training with Knuckle Duster. He sparred with him, carried heavy objects across the room, did push-ups, sit-ups, and every brutish thing his teacher could think of. That wasn't all. He passed out on the first day, so he didn't get to the part of his training where he tested his senses. The vigilante had got his hands on ultrasonic emitters only certain animals could hear. Midoriya had to make out what his teacher was saying while trying to block out the deafening sound. Reflexes. Knuckle Duster had something in mind for this one. He employed the help of one of his other students, the Crawler. He had a kind and encouraging voice. It felt like he was talking to himself, but skill-wise, they were worlds apart. Koichi, aka the Crawler, had a quirk that allowed him to glide across surfaces using a sort of repulsion mechanism, making him quick, flexible, and almost impossible to hit, which was exactly what Izuku had to do while avoiding Koichi's tackles. "Sorry!" Koichi apologized for nearly the 100th time after sending Midoriya to the ground. The second it felt like he was getting Koichi's speed and pattern, he changed everything and destabilized Izuku.
"Looking a bit green there, huh, Izuku? See what I did there? 'Cause there's green and all," Knuckle Duster said, laughing to his own joke. Izuku ignored him. Koichi had just zoomed through him from the left. Midoriya had intentionally turned his attention to the left of where he had last been hit, narrowing Koichi's attack radius to either two sides. He was certain Koichi wouldn't try to hit him from his last position again. It was a tendency humans had to not do the same thing twice, even when doing things randomly. So was it left or right? The problem wasn't pinpointing Koichi with his senses, it was acting fast enough. He needed an extra edge if he was going to dodge the next attack. Midoriya activated his radar sense, giving him a mental framework of his immediate surroundings. He'd practiced with it over the couple of days, knowing its reach, accuracy, and everything. Left, his sparring partner came into Radar's reach from the left. As soon as Koichi came into view, Midoriya leapt. Hopefully this time he'd get the timing right. And he did, till he got yanked to the ground by his leg. Koichi blazed under his feet, but his insane reflexes gave him reaction, enough to take Izuku with him. "That was, really good, you know? Your reaction time got better, but I think you're overthinking it all. Your action should come without you thinking, like, I don't know, I'm not really good at explaining it," Koichi complimented once the session was over and they were cooling off. "He's saying you need to learn how to wimp fight. You should pick it up sooner trying with this kid. But you're getting better some steps above trash now, I think."
Knuckle Duster tossed his students bottles of water. Izuku wanted more than that. No, rather, he needed more. He had to get better. That was the only way he could stand a chance during the entrance exam. The days were passing by quicker, and the boy could only hope he got better by the time of the exam. Spar, body build, enhance senses, like a wash, rinse, repeat cycle, and of course, hurrying back home before he was caught. That was all he did over the couple of months. His arms and legs bulged with sculpted muscles, not to forget his rock-hard abs. His head no longer hurt from an influx of information. Izuku could now keep in check the amount of information he wanted in his head, and most of all, he had a certain level of battle confidence. He had gotten so good he followed Knuckle Duster on his vigilante missions after nearly 5 months of training. He gained field experience and earned himself the name Black Mask, considering he wore a full-on black mask without eye holes during his missions.
"Now you're looking sharp. Almost dashed those barrels across the room. Heck, you even nicked my chin a bit. Damn hard to hit now. Yeah, you can definitely take out the trash right now. I've got nothing else to teach you even if I did. I wouldn't do it for free. You're ready and just in time since the exams are in a few days' time."
Knuckle Duster smiled, and for once it looked genuine and not with the normal sarcasm. He took a swig from a beer bottle. This was going to be their last session together. It'd been such a long and arduous journey, but now he felt more sure of himself than when he began it. Knuckle Duster was right. He was ready. Thank you all for sticking around, and I hope that you enjoyed. Before you leave, we would just like to let you know that We the Celestials has many other channels for your entertainment and viewing purposes. All the information you'll need is right below here in the description, so feel free to check out all the other incredible projects our team creates. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. That's all for today's video, so goodbye and have a divine day.